I will read a passage on Nkambe, specifically on Njari market. Few spaces had that natural, magnetic and convivial character typical of Nkambe Old Market. Located close to the minarets of the Nkambe Funds Palace and surrounded by some of the best Shah houses, Shah meaning local maize brew, the old market was a must visit in Nkambe. It hosted a weekly market for products such as spices, cereals, vegetables, fruits, palm oil, and etc. from the Ako area, one of the most fertile localities in Cameroon. It was as if the umbilical cord of Nkambe was buried under the grey soil of the old market, making it central to the identity of the Nkambe town. But the main reason why the Njari market was narrowly tied to student life in Nkambe was due to palm kernel, commonly known in Pidgin as mbanga. Many students used to look forth to the Njari market day with impatience, and when it finally came, the list of students who left school before closing time, the dodgers, was longer than usual. Mbanga, palm kernel, perfectly combined with parched corn. In reality, the popularity of parched corn with mbanga or granite was only rival to soaked gari, known amongst the student population as garium sulfate, a student delicacy derived from the granular flour of crushed cassava. Given its relative affordability, parched corn with mbanga was a basic resource and recourse for students during arid days. However, on some days, the 25 or 50 francs coin needed to buy a portion of mbanga to combine with corn was not a given. On such days, a student would engage in a thorough archaeology of his or her pockets to search for any providential coin that might have been forgotten during greener days. Others, the more sharp-witted ones, simply engaged in a tasting spree, and after tasting the mbanga of close to 5 generous sellers, they would be left with a handful fit to change the fate of a reasonable quantity of parched corn. Such a character would put a grain of kernel in his mouth, chew it ruminatively as if to test the chemical proportion of magnesium, iron, and zinc in its pulp, just to come out with a complaint that this mbanga overstrong, while carefully pocketing the remains. Most often, when the seller complained, the student would confuse him or her with big grammar so as to justify their not buying, and then continue with fruitful tasting with other sellers. Whatever the case, the end justified the means. The consumption of parched corn with mbanga was never a solitary practice. Rather, it was often a joint enterprise. In student quarters, some would contribute coins to buy mbanga, while others contributed corn. Or some would contribute gari, gallium sulfate, while others would bring sugar and perhaps granules, avocado, and milk for the most fortunate ones. Mbanga mixed with corn was a community builder, for in the eating there was also the telling. And most of the best stories from Nanga Hills were stories that originated from these mbanga and parched corn eating sessions in the various student quarters. Thank you very much.